What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Wednesday edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show here at FTNFantasy.com. My name is Zach Graham, aka Kawaisenberg, DFS, ready to jump into our MLB and WNBA action here on a Wednesday, and hoping to turn things around after a 1-5 Tuesday. Just absolute stank all over those picks yesterday. You knew it was going to be tough when Rakia Jackson gets there in garbage time, and that same garbage time prevents Brianna Jones from getting there. We'll put that in the past, though, and jump into today's slate. We got 3 games in the W and a full slate of MLB to check out here. So we won't waste any time on our Wednesday. In between, of course, today's Euros group stage matches might have some soccer plays, whether it's Euros, MLS, or Copa America in the chat over the next couple days. But none of that here on the stream today. Sticking to the hardball, sticking to the ladies' hoops. Let's go ahead and jump in here. And going right to the tool, I'm going to look at our top option here, and Tarek Skubal. I did have a conversation with the great Alex Blickel this morning because look, Skubal's been fantastic, right? And we are going to take a more than selection on his fantasy score here as the top projected prop in the PrizePicks MLB prop tool here at FTN Fantasy. Of course, Skubal, right? About 10 and a quarter strikeouts per 9 so far this season through his 14 starts, 2.83 xFIP. But the Braves, right? That's what gave me a little bit of pause this morning. But Alex kind of talked me off of that ledge, and we are going to go with Skubal here. And partially because the pairing that we can get here in a moment, but Skubal, you can see the FTN model has him for just a hair shy of 42 pitcher fantasy score here on Wednesday. So we put that in as our first pick, coming in right above a 70% win percentage in the model. And then second guy here on the list is Cole Ragans. Fantasy point line 41.5. He's not really somebody, again, the model rather, recommending a less than selection on Ragans, projecting him right around 37 fantasy score here tonight. And that's just not something I personally feel comfortable with going up against a team like the A's here, taking a less than on Reagan. So if we go right down to the third pick in the model here this morning, it's Reynaldo Lopez on the other side of this Braves and Tigers matchup. And the model has him for a touch over 34 fantasy score here this morning. So when you slot Lopez in there and you let the tool do its thing here, it's going to give us a correlation bonus of plus 4.3%. The true odds here up top in that top row, minus 102. You've got over a 50% win percentage in the tool here to pair when you're pairing these two pitchers up against each other. And again, this game, first pitch in about an hour. So glad we were able to talk about this here. Already have this in on PrizePicks. Again, this game on the day tied for or second lowest implied total. Astros and White Sox is down at 7, but we've got an implied run total in Atlanta of just 7.5 here this morning, with the juice leaning a little bit towards the under on DK Sportsbook. So again, I like this pairing. The tool loves this pairing. So that's how we're going to start our Wednesday stream, with the Skubal more than 35.5 fantasy score, and Reynaldo Lopez more than 30 fantasy score. Okay, so we'll talk WNBA here. I've got 4 WNBA picks that I want to talk about, and I do need to get these into our banners here, rather. And but I guess before we get to the W, again, if you are not with us here at FTN Fantasy, don't know what you're waiting for, come on over, sign up. Monthly access to everything we've got here, I believe around $40. But like I say, almost every stream here, The best value is clearly that VIP Plus subscription. It's $299.99 for the year. So right around $25 a month, that gets you access to everything we have here under the FTN Fantasy umbrella, your season-long fantasy, your sports betting, daily fantasy, access to all of our advanced statistics, our projection models, access to all 3 of our Discord servers, which includes that Pick'em Games channel where you get picks like you did yesterday from Chris Meany for the Stanley Cup final last night, where you get picks from myself, Alex Blickel, Kenneth Lee, and I believe there are some protected plays coming from PrizePicks here today. I saw some discussion in the chat there from our buddy Zed, says that I believe noon Eastern, we are maybe getting $25 protected plays. So I personally haven't seen anything about that, but I know. Oh yeah, and here you go. You can see it. You can opt in right now on the promo page at PrizePicks. And if you have not signed up yet at PrizePicks, you can head over there, sign up using the promo code FTN, and that will give you a 100% deposit match bonus on your first deposit up to $100. So you can get those bonus funds in there today and then use 25 of those dollars on this protected play over at PrizePicks. So you can also download the Sleeper app. That same promo code FTN will get you the same 100% deposit match bonus up to $100 at Sleeper. And then our friends over at Underdog Fantasy, slightly different offer here, but the promo code remains the same if you have not signed up yet at Underdog Fantasy. You can use that promo code and that will get you a 50% deposit match bonus, but that's up to $250 on that first time deposit. And right now at Underdog, all new customers getting that special discounted pick with the promo code FTN. So head over to Underdog, promo code FTN, deposit match bonus, and a special discounted pick. Not too bad there. All right, let's talk some hoops here. And again, I've got a 4-pack of picks that I want to discuss here. And I told you guys on yesterday's stream, we're going back to Kayla McBride unders when the Lynx play again. And the Lynx are on tonight's slate, taking on the Dream. Lynx, 10-point home favorites here, 162 implied total for what it is worth. And look, my thoughts on Kayla McBride have not changed since we talked about her on Monday. And again, I kind of joked that she hasn't quite taken those like Mike shoes off yet after we had that lengthy discussion, right, about how hot she has been from the field, the efficiency that I just don't think is going to keep up. Again, we have not seen anything like this out of Kayla McBride throughout her 11-year career. We're now 14 games in, right? Kayla McBride from the field, 48%. She's a career 41.4% shooter from the field. She is still a hair under 50%, 49.5% from three on a career high 7.1 attempts per game. This is a 37.2% three-point shooter in her career. And again, Kayla McBride is a scorer, right? 3-time All-Star in her 11-year career. And if she keeps this up, who's to say that she won't make the All-Star team here in 2024? I just think, again, that this is going to dissipate. We're going to see her come back down closer to her career rates. Again, she could very well just be having a career year. I still don't think she's going to shoot 50% from three. I don't think she's going to shoot nearly 8 points above her career average from the field. So I am on the less than here for Kayla McBride and her fantasy score prop set at 28.5. Then again, 3 more plays here on the WNBA side and 2 more less than selections here. We're going to go back to Easy Magbagor and take her less than 37.5 fantasy score. The Storm, just 6-point road underdogs here going up against the defending champions. Obviously, the Aces have been struggling mightily compared, relative to the expectation of them coming into the year, really over the last 3 years. But when you take a look at this Storm team and Easy in particular, right, running pretty hot with the blocks so far this season, 2.8 per game now. So that is down from the last time we talked about taking a less than on her fantasy score prop. She was over 3 about a week ago. But again, this is a player, 1.6 blocks per game. in her career. And again, playing about the exact same role minutes-wise that she did across her 40 appearances last year. Of course, that Storm team last year was much worse than this current 2024 iteration, but just 1.9 blocks per game. Last season, she's also running hot with the steals, 1.6. This is a 0.9 steals per game player across her 5-year career. And again, it's not all equal. She spent the first 2 years of her career backing up Breanna Stewart in Seattle and really a bench role there. So again, not all of this is a mirage with Magbegor, but the matchup, the Aces do get Chelsea Gray back here tonight. She is not on the injury report. I'm not surprised if they do bring her off the bench because they have been bringing her along quite slowly in this recovery process, especially over the last couple of weeks where she's been upgraded, and we just haven't seen her. She is active here tonight. Again, that's backcourt. We're looking at the front court here. A'ja Wilson, defensive player, the reigning defensive player of the year. Kia Stokes, not bad in her own right. So I'm going to take the less than on Easy and her 37 fantasy score prop. We're going to go across the other side of the ball and go back to a prop that, just getting this banner up, a prop that we took, I think this time last week when we first thought Chelsea Gray may be making her return. And we're going to go to A'ja Wilson and take a less than selection on her points prop, which is set at 27.5. So again, my argument for taking the under here is the exact same as it was last week. This is a player who, again, all-star, a 5-time all-star across her 6 seasons coming into the 2024 year, 2-time MVP, 2-time reigning defensive player of the year, obviously reigning finals MVP, WNBA champion, 20.4 points per game on her career. Last year, again, in what was a career year for A'ja Wilson, 22.8 points per game. And it's really just the presence of Chelsea Gray, whether she is off the bench or jumping right into this starting lineup. And I believe the update we got on Gray late last night was that there is reportedly no minutes limit on Chelsea Gray. Like a lot of these things, right? We just saw Joe Mazzulla in the NBA Finals lie twice about a Porzingis minutes restriction, or non-minutes restriction rather, where even Porzingis after game 1 came out and said, yeah, I'm on a restriction. Becky Hammon, former NBA assistant, right? I think she's got maybe some trickery up her sleeves in that arena as well. I'm not expecting 30 plus minutes out of Chelsea Gray here, but I am expecting enough where I think this points line for A'ja, which she has been over in all but 2 games this season. Again, she has been fantastic. I don't think that type of scoring load is going to keep up game to game. I think that comes down a few points with Gray in the lineup. So we'll take the less than selection on A'ja as well. But we are going to have one more than selection here. Let me get this in. We're talking Nalissa Smith. We're going to talk Fever and Mystics, kind of the dregs of the league facing off here tonight in Indianapolis. We'll get this up here. We're going to Nalissa Smith, and I am drawn to the Caitlin Clark fantasy score prop there at 35.5. We talked about, and we've had success attacking Clark in matchups against some of the lesser teams in the league so far this season, especially when that line has been down to like 32.5, 33.5 as it was the other day. Again, Fever 5-10, the Mystics 2-12. And again, you go back through those game logs like we did with Caitlin Clark last time we brought her up on the stream. She has been finding much more real life hoop success and fantasy success against these lower tier teams, the Mystics, the Sparks, the Wings, etc. But Nalissa Smith set at 25.5 here. I think that is a little bit too low. Considering the role that she is playing. Obviously, we saw the lineup change like 5 or 6 games in, where Smith went to the bench for 2 games after being benched mid-game against the Sparks back on the 24th of May. But let's just look at, 15 games for the Fever so far this year. In 10 of those 15, we've seen Smith play 21 minutes or more. In those 10 games where she's played 21 minutes or more, she is over this number in 8 of those 10. One of those 2 that she missed, she came up 1.5 points shy. In that one, only took 7 shot attempts, which is below the average for her in those 10 games. And then just single-digit fantasy score against the Liberty. That was a 36-point blowout loss. Nobody from the Fever did much of anything in that game. So again, she's also played against the Liberty 2 other times where she's played 21 or more minutes. That's a very tough matchup, of course. Over this number in both of those games, again, 8 of 10 times where she plays basically more than half of the game. Again, 40 minutes in a WNBA game. Smith well over this number. So with the Fever, I believe 3-point home favorites. Let me see if that has shifted at all. Okay, Fever, 5-point home favorites now hosting the Mystics here. 167 implied total in this one. I like Nalissa Smith for more than 25.5 fantasy score here. So there's 6 picks for you here to get your Wednesday started. Of course, throughout the day, if we find anything else, MLB, WNBA, again, maybe some soccer sprinkled into that Pick'em Games channel here later on our Wednesday. You will find that in that Pick'em Games channel. If you are an FTN Fantasy subscriber, of course, you can come as a subscriber and use the prop tool here. You can explore more of what we've got on the MLB side for today's slate. And again, that first game where we've got Skubal and we've got Lopez, first pitch in about 45 minutes from now. So going to be an action-packed Wednesday here at FTN. Hope to see you around these parts in that Pick'em Games channel. If you're a new subscriber, don't hesitate to tag me. Let me know that you're here. And you will see the great Alex Blickel on this stream tomorrow on Thursday. So little change of pace there. Alex back in the mix. Can't wait to see what he's working with tomorrow as well. I appreciate you tuning in, sticking with me here on the Wednesday edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show. Whether you caught it live or on the replay, while you're here, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video. Helps us grow the stream, helps us grow FTN. We would really appreciate you doing that for us if you're stopping by the YouTube. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. And of course, good luck tonight, everybody.